Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. OTR trucking is dead. Now, by OTR, I mean over the road, pulling a dry van or a reefer. And why I'm saying it's dead now is to get your attention, to try to let you know if you're seriously considering getting endorsements on your license, now is the time to do it. Details next on TalkZach. Okay, so as I get this episode of TalkZach started, just know I could really use your financial support right now. And the way to get me financial support immediately is to go on to truckerzachsfanshop.com and order some merch today. Now on to the show. So the death of OTR trucking as we know it. Dry vans, reefers, they're pretty much gone in just a couple more years. Here's why. Major companies that you've heard of, Hire Corporation, also known as GE Appliances, FedEx, UPS, the Postal Service, yeah, you may have heard of those four, and Anheuser-Busch. That's just to name a few companies that are already starting to do this. They're starting to deploy driverless rigs on certain mundane routes to demonstrate their safety before they go out and become common. Now, these companies aren't doing it by themselves. They're doing it with partners. Specifically, Google and their Waymo business, Uber Freight, Aurora Innovation, which is funded by several major trucking companies, which we'll get to in a minute. Embark, which is also funded by trucking companies. And Einride, which is a new one that just came into the U.S. market. These 5 companies I just mentioned are so focused. And oh yeah, let's not forget Kodiak. They just recently demonstrated one that can operate in snow. So, 6 companies now that we're talking about here that are about to become very massive, very quick with their carrier partners and with partnerships with the truck OEMs. This is a very real and serious threat to a lot of the jobs that truckers do today. And my concern about these self-driving trucks is the fact that they're going to become very common, very quick, and drivers around them are not going to know how to react when they do things like a sudden lane change or a sudden brake, because the driver of the vehicles around them can't see what's going on up in that cab because there's no driver's face to see. And in one case, in the case of the Einride truck in particular, there is no driver's cab. Instead, the truck itself is controlled by some gal sitting in a back room somewhere in the middle of an office. So what this is going to do to the trucking industry is it is going to kill off at least 50% of it in the next 5 years. And a lot of drivers are going to start facing big financial hardship because of that. So, what can we do in order to deal with these self-driving rigs? Well, for the CDL holders out there, I'm going to have an episode of Truckin' It coming up, where we talk about that aspect. Search for that on the channel later. But for everyone else, if you see a rig without a driver in it, you still need to follow your safety. Well, you still need to be very careful around them, because they might make a sudden move just as a driver might. Especially if responding to something like, let's say, a stopped cop on the shoulder, or a vehicle that's disabled or broke down, or maybe it's just trying to do a lane change to get around an even slower truck. So, be careful out there, y'all. And until next time, be safe. And for those of y'all who are investing in these self-driving trucks, good luck to you. Bye for now.